A few weeks ago, I teased the watch that we're looking at today, hands-on. It's a watch from Nevada Grenchen that gets a very, very special and interesting case back. This is the Erotic from Nevada Grenchen, and it is based on their very popular Antarctic field watch. The name Erotic gives you a little bit of a clue on what's going on the case back and the movement of this watch. It's a little bit different and a little bit more fun than every other Antarctic that you've seen in the past. I have one hands-on, so let's flip the camera and take a look at a watch that you probably shouldn't show your children, the Antarctic Erotic. Nevada Grenchen, not afraid to do wacky things from time to time. This is the Antarctic Erotic. That's what they're calling this, and there is a few different limited editions that they're making. Basically, all of them are a limited run. There's a salmon dial that is going to be available for only 69 minutes. This one is going to be available for 69 hours, I want to say. This is the eggshell dial. And then there's 4 other versions. Those will be available for 6 days and 9 hours. You could see a theme here. They went all out with this release. But what I really like about these watches, and it kind of reminds me of a watch that I owned when I was younger. I had this tonneau-shaped watch I bought, I believe, on eBay at some point that had an automation on the back. It looked like a regular watch from the front. So that's what they're doing with these Antarctics. These are very straightforward designs on the front. They are explorer style field watches. This one gets a white dial that has an eggshell finish. You have a 12, 9, 3, and 6. You have batons for the other indices. Those are all applied. It says Nevada Grenchen on the dial. It says Antarctic right above that 6 o'clock position. It has a design that is very similar to what you can buy through the Antarctic lineup of watches currently. However, there is obviously a twist here. When you flip over this watch, it gets a hand wound movement. I believe they have used hand winding movements in the Antarctic before. I have one on my wrist, which is the Glacier, and that one does not have a hand wound movement. It has an automatic movement. All of these will have hand wound movements because of this right here. So the penguin is the logo for the Antarctic because it was in the 1950s. They used these for polar exploration. You know, the penguin kind of makes sense as a really good mascot for an explorer style watch like this. What they have done here is put 2 penguins on the back, and when you wind the watch, there's a little bit of action that happens between the 2 penguins. And I don't want to give too much away, but as you can see, as I'm winding here, you could see there is a movement that is very familiar for many of us out there. You're getting a hand wound movement in here. This is a P054 soap rod. So they use a lot of soap rod movements in their watches. They are very good, pretty good looking as well. And what they've done here is used a cam system so that when you're winding, there is movement, and that's the automation. This is really special because right now, this is something that is really no longer done. I don't think there are modern watches being produced with this little secret in the back. And that's what this is. It's meant to be a secret. It's meant to be only for the owner. The owner and everybody that the owner shows. It's going to be part of the novelty, and you're going to want to show everyone what's going on the case back. Most Nevada Grenchen do not get a clear case back. So I really like that they did this here, and I really like the playfulness of the watch. They're not taking it too serious. However, I have to say, at the same time, this is a very serious watch. It is an Antarctic. It looks like an Antarctic. So when you have this on your wrist, no one is going to know what's on the back of your watch. The eggshell is the 38 millimeter version. I don't know what the other versions are measuring in at, but this is 38 millimeters. You have a 45 millimeter lug to lug and a 12.3 millimeter thickness. That's including the sapphire crystal. You get 100 meters of water resistance and a screwed-in crown. And when you wind this, there is a loud clicking noise to it because obviously you hear that. And it's pretty loud. And I'm going to show you the penguins here, but it's only when you wind. So when you're winding, you could see that happening there. And I'll throw a close-up of it because it's a little bit better close up. But really cool. I mean, it's just something completely unnecessary, something you definitely don't need, but interesting at the same time. I don't think it's all that much thicker than a standard Antarctic, but I do have one on my wrist, and I'll show you that in just a second. And this is the Glacier on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 38 millimeter version as well. It is slightly thicker. It's only 1 millimeter thinner. So this one is thinner than the one with the Penguin, obviously, because this is automatic, but it doesn't have a see-through case back. And of course, you're not getting that penguin or two penguins on the back with that automation. So it is thinner than the watch that we're looking at today, but you're not getting the same complication and a little bit different of a style. But really cool watch. I love this watch. This is my personal Antarctic. And there you go. It's a 38 millimeter watch. It's around 12.3 millimeters thick, so it wears slightly thicker than a standard automatic version of the Antarctic. And then you have a 45 millimeter lug to lug. I think it looks really good on my wrist. That thickness does not make a difference whatsoever. It's really not thick at all. Even though the standard version is thinner, it doesn't wear any thicker on wrist, as you can see when I turn it on its side. It looks really good. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and obviously a 38 millimeter watch works really well for me. So if you saw me walking down the street wearing this watch, you would never know that this was an erotic watch at all. So there you go, just a little bit of lume on the dial. There's just bars at the primary indices, and then you have lume on the hands. You do not have lume on the second hand, so you cannot see that the watch is working in the dark. That second hand is blue, and also I do want to mention, which I didn't mention before, above the 6 o'clock, it does say Antarctic, but it also says erotic on the dial. But again, that's not something that you're going to easily see, and no one would ever know what's going on in the back of this case back without knowing this exact watch by looking at your wrist with the watch on. Also, the indices are really interesting on this watch. They are not lumed, unfortunately, the 12, 9, 3, and 6, but they're almost like raised from the dial, and they are painted as well on the sides. So it's the tops that are just polished. It looks really good, and I'll do plenty of close-ups throughout the video so you can see what I'm talking about. Very interesting watch. And I think it's kind of special as well. These will be very limited. They're not going to be selling a ton of these. They're going to sell basically over 7 days, 6 days and 9 hours, and they will sell out. So they're going to start with that really limited edition version, which will be the salmon, then this one, and then the remaining 4, which I think that the Glacier is a version that they will be doing with this. So the one that I had on my wrist with this complication. Price on this is $1,569. Obviously, they had to throw another $69 in there. And then if you want it on a bracelet, so that's on a strap. If you want it on a bracelet, it's $200 more, so $1,769. A fully Swiss-made 100-meter watch with an automation, which is very, very rare these days. And I think they've done it pretty tastefully because it's something that you could leave in your house if you have children. They're not going to really understand. There's just two penguins on the back. They don't really know what's going on. And if they're old enough to know, then, you know, it's just two penguins anyway. So it's really not raunchy in any way. It's very playful. I think it's kind of cool. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of what they've done here? Do you remember these watches that I'm talking about? Because I remember them, and there were a lot of them on places like eBay, and you would see them here and there. I don't see them anymore. I never see them anymore. That's kind of a shame. Really interesting, fun, just a playful little complication. And they made it even more playful by making it penguins, I think. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I will put a link. This goes on sale on April 30th. And then obviously you have these time slots that you can buy the different colorways. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll put a link down in the description. Sign up so you are notified when these go live. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.